Okay, go ahead, Juanita. Juanita, you may need to star 6 because we can't hear you talking.
How?
Are you there?
Can you hear me, Debbie? Debbie,
yes,
can
I
you
can
hear
hear
me?
you now. Yes.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that. So success training, business success training, it's August 12th. We're past the conference, and just to tell you, this morning was a little bit hairy for me because I had no electricity for a while, and I thought, oh, what the heck, I can still get on my computer. It's well charged. Well, I have no internet if I don't have electricity, but about 15 minutes before training, everything came back on, so life is good. So Debbi, Grenz, and I are going to share. It's going to be training's going to be a little bit different this morning because we're going to really focus on one area of the fixar, and we're going to focus on identify. But before we get started, we'll go ahead and tell our stories real quick. My name's Juanita Jachetta. Probably most of you know me. I live out in the state of Washington. Been a social worker all my career life. I was introduced to Relive in 2006. That was when, at a time in my career that I was getting headaches. I had been promoted to supervisor, really stressful job with Children Protective Services, getting headaches all the time, and I was exhausted. I would go to bed early, and I'd sleep my weekends away most of the time. And I hated both of those things. I could take ibuprofen, and the headaches would go away. I could go to bed early and sleep my weekends away and be ready for the next week. But I had 3 teenagers at the time, and they were all active in something, whether it was FFA or sports. And it was actually at a volleyball game of my daughters that I was introduced to Relive. I listened to parents of a friend of hers and thought, kind of, what the heck? But I did my due diligence. I listened to stories, and I checked out the company. I went to meetings, and I talked to a lot of people, and I jumped in at that top profit level just because that was the best choice for me. At that time, it was a 90% buyback, and I thought I have nothing to lose, even if I buy it at, that top profit level, and I send it back within that year. I'm still better off than buying it retail. So that's what I did. Got the product, took it consistently as I was told, and those headaches were gone. Now, they weren't migraines, they were stress headaches, but they were gone. But what I was really looking for was that exhaustion to be lifted. And I talked to my sponsor, and I said, I hear these stories, everybody's getting energy, and I'm not. And she said, you're kind of a train wreck. You just need to be consistent and patient. So I listened to her, and I did just that. And in 2.5 months, that I added an hour or 2 to my day, and I wasn't sleeping those weekends away anymore. Fast forward to 2009, no longer had taken not even 1 ibuprofen. I had the opportunity to donate a kidney. Through that process, they ask if you're on any medication. I was not even on any over-the-counter medication, but they also ask if you're on any supplements. And I was taking the Relive, and the surgeon actually told me that he didn't think that I'd be able to take Relive after donating a kidney. And I said, well, then you're not going to get my kidney because I was certainly not going to go back to the condition I was before. And he kind of backed up that train, and he said, we'll send you this dietitian and see what she has to say. And so did that. Dietitian looked at it and said, no, this is not at all what the surgeon's thinking about. This is absolutely fine. He was thinking about the high-protein drinks you can get from the local health food store and from your local GMC. Fast forward, I donated that kidney. He said, as soon as you'd be out within 3 days, after 2 days, he said, I have no reason to keep you here. You can go home. I was back to work full-time, part-time, and full-time before anybody expected. Business-wise, just on the surgeon, when I talked to him and I said, at the end, I said, if I would have been taking all that ibuprofen, would have I been able to donate the kidney? And he said, absolutely not, because ibuprofen's so bad for the kidney. At the time I was taking the ibuprofen, didn't even realize that. The discharge nurse told me that I had not only changed the life of the one person who got my kidney, but I had changed the life of 80,000. And I looked at her, puzzled, and she said, because that's how many's on a waiting list, and they all moved up. So I am so loyal to this company and these products because without Relive, I would not have been able to do that. With the business, my first check was $52. My entire family laughed at that. I was not at all interested in the business. You got to remember, I was exhausted. I had 3 teenagers. Husband I have also take care of a hearing impaired gal, and I had a job that took me out of my home 50, 60 hours a week. So I had no room to do anything else. But people saw a difference in me at work. I actually had a foster parent that came in I hadn't seen for a long time, and she said, "What are you doing?" And I told her, and she joined as a master affiliate, just being, part of the product. And it's amazing. And now with this Fit Tree, to back up a little bit, I have earned as much as $5,000 in a calendar month. And I've earned a trip to Jamaica. And I'm nobody special, let me tell you. And so I can do this. Anybody can do this. I'm retired, and I love reliving. This is what I plan to do. And the Fit Tree, that has been amazing as well. I'm 60 years old. I've always wanted to lose a few pounds, not really successful at keeping that off. And the Fit Tree, I was able to lose 20 pounds before conference. And feeling great. And I had stayed back for a week with relatives, and I had a cousin who I stayed with because I grew up in that area, and I had a cousin that she's no longer able to do her garden, this and that, and I was able to go out, lead her garden, and do all that stuff, and she actually told me, she said, as she went to get me tools to do that, she said, "I feel like a grandmother with a grandchild." And that was just so much fun, and I had other relatives tell me that I look so fit. So Reliv's just amazing. The products are great, and we'll get on with training. Debbie, go ahead and tell your story, and then we'll go into Identify.
All right, sounds great. I just love your story. Don't even know what it would feel like to change that many people's lives, and that's kind of what we do with Reliv. We're out there changing people's lives. Hi, everyone. I am Debbie Grenz. I live in Albany, Oregon. I am a stay-at-home mom and full-time Reliv distributor as of conference. And my business was kind of put on the back burner for a while because we have, right now in our home, we have 7 children. 6 of those are adopted, aged 6 to 14. And the little ones were just, their behavior when we got them was so time-consuming that's all I did 24/7. But anyway, I am back in the game now, and I'm going to earn that trip, and we're doing great. When Reliv found me, I was not looking for business. I was not looking for a supplement. I thought that I was doing everything that I needed to keep my family healthy, and I also was in a career that I loved. But it did sound really interesting, so I saved the number. About a year and a half after that, I went to work one day and was told that my position was being eliminated. I went out and looked for a job. 6 months later, I was still looking, and that's when I remembered that number. I called and heard what the products were doing for people and also what the business was doing for people. Knew I needed to check it out. We checked it out within a week's time. My husband and I decided this is what I needed to be doing. We came into the business at that top profit level and went out and started sharing with people. That first month in the business, we were 9th in the nation for sales volume. But our health, we found out that we weren't as healthy as we thought we were. We were just suffering with all sorts of things that you think that you just have to live with. I had allergies since I was about 7 years old, severe allergies. I was on 2 and sometimes 3 prescription drugs just to be comfortable. I had migraines every month like clockwork since I was about 19 years old. And I had a hip issue that I'd had all my life, but pain was so bad for the last 15 years before I started Reliv that I couldn't walk for exercise. All of these things are being taken care of with the products. I'm not on medication any longer. And I've had the best summers of my life. Even with medications, it wasn't as good as it is with Reliv. But fast forward to the business story, like I said, we were 9th in the nation for sales volume that first month. And what that meant was on top of my other income from Reliv, we got bonuses of $1,750. And my husband and I got to go on an all-expense-paid trip to Lake of the Ozarks in Missouri to spend time with Bob and Sandy Montgomery and their family at their home. When we met them, we knew this was the company we wanted to be involved with for a very long time. We've been doing this for 9 years now. We've got a check every month since we started. bonuses along the way. One year we came home from conference knowing that this is a gift that we need to share with more people. I usually say I went out and started sharing. Well, that month I had just had ankle surgery to fix a problem that I'd had in my ankle. And I was on the couch that month connecting people. And that month I placed first in the nation. And that meant that I got a $5,000 bonus in all forms of income that month. I made right under $8,000. And the best part of that is that every penny that I make is because I'm watching somebody's life be changed for the better. And that career that I loved so much before was a helping profession. And I knew I always wanted to be in a helping profession. And I thought about it, there's nothing out there that I could do that I could help more people. We're going to be doing this for the rest of our life. My husband is retired. Like I said, I'm a stay-at-home mom now, and we're never going to retire from Relive. And the Fit 3 program has changed my life again. I was very much overweight. I realized that if I didn't do something, I wasn't going to be around to raise those 6 children, not just because I was unhealthy. I was healthy with Relive, but I was not fit, and I knew that I wasn't going to be able to keep up with them. So I started losing weight with the Relive products, and when the Fit 3 program came out, it just kind of accelerated the process. It made me want to exercise, believe it or not. I've never liked to exercise. I started losing more weight, and as of now, I have lost 55 pounds. And I am loving every minute of it. We just got back from California, Disneyland, and Disneyland California Adventure. I was with my 6 grandchildren and then my 2 grown daughters, and they danced there, and I kept up with them. And at the end of the day, I was moving better than they were, and I'm just so excited about the life ahead of me, and we'll never stop doing Relive. That's my story, and I just want to make sure that everyone knows that Relive makes no health claims, no claims to cure, treat, heal, or diagnose any health issue. It is your body that's the miracle. When given the right tools, your body can do amazing things, and that's what Relive is the tools to help your body do what it's meant to do. Okay, I guess that we're getting started with our business training. We've kind of switched it up a little bit. What we're doing now is we're concentrating on one of the main things about how to do this business. And today, Juanita, Jachetta, and I get to share the identify part of that business training. So here we go.
Well, first of all, before we do that, I'm always amazed with your story that you got First Nation from your couch, and all the children that you have. I just am in awe of that and everything that you've done. But and when we were talking yesterday, we actually talked about, I asked you how you identified people then, and what did you do from your couch, and you just made phone calls. You identified people that you've been working with and made that list. And so really, the thing that I heard this from Don Givens, I think was the first one who said it, and other people have said it. There's 2 kinds of people in this world: people who know about Relive and people who don't. And so make that list. 10 prospects, 10 business prospects. Just get started. I mean, you're only going to start with 1. So, even start with 1. Pick that people, make that list. It's said that all of us know probably about 600 people. And you talk to one person, that person knows another 600 people. And when you're identifying, think about why you thought of them. Provide that purpose for that first contact. And so just, even if it's 1, and you sit down with your upline and make that list. And there's actually that, and I don't know if you want to go over that, Debbi, but, that Pixar book. If you don't have one of those, you probably want to get one, because it really, it's a whole book where you identify the different groups that are part of your life, your centers of influence, And it really, when you look at that, it really makes you think of all those centers of influences, your family and in-laws, your neighbors, other neighborhoods where you know people. If you're currently working, I'm retired now, but I know all the people from the job when I was employed, you know, past jobs, school. When I grew up in the Chicago area, outside of that, and so I stayed back a week to see relatives and that I haven't seen for some of them 40 years. And prior, Facebook is wonderful in that I looked up old classmates. I met with 5 old classmates I hadn't seen for 40 years. I've got their contact information. I'll be contacting them. Schools, children's schools, hobbies, you know, we're all probably involved with something, you know, a club of some sort or something with the church, or I'm involved with the soup kitchen at my church. Sports activities, those that have children, well, even that don't, you go to sports activities. And then there's the social network and other groups you can identify. So, Debbie, you want to add to that?
Well, I was just thinking, you know, what keeps going through my mind is that I don't know that anyone that's doing Relive, maybe people who are taking the product somewhere on the planet, I don't know if that's possible, but I don't think any of us are hermits. And so there are times when I hear, well, I don't know anybody, and I think, well, do you bank? Do you take your check into a bank and cash it, or do you drive through a bank and cash your check, or do you, you know, is there something that, do you go to a grocery store and buy groceries? Because again, and when you start taking the products, I don't think that you could remain a hermit if you were, because it makes you feel so great. So there are always people that could be on your list. Also, if you are you're out and about and you're driving or something, Quila talks about this all the time. If you think of someone, if somebody is brought to your mind, that person needs to hear about Relive, unless they already have. And if they have, you need to do follow-up, because there's a reason why that person came to your mind. And write down, you know, what was going on when their name came to your mind, so that when you do connect with them, you can identify the reason why you might have thought of them. And there's always people that you can put on your list. And my list never stops growing. And you guys, everyone out there can probably attest to this, that they started with maybe 10 people, and by the time they finished their list, they had no idea they knew that many people. Like you said, Juanita, your family, you're always reconnecting with people, especially if you know, in those instances when things happen and you lose a family member and you have to get together for whatever reason, there are people that you're connecting with and are identifying. And your friends sometimes are the friends and family are sometimes the hardest people on you when you start trying to share with them. But keep them on your list. Don't just give up on them, and later on down the road you can go back to them. Like you said, work. I don't work anymore, but I do connect with people that work. We're still foster parents, and so we're connecting with new people all the time. If we get a new child, we've got a new caseworker, you know, whatever. All of these other places, social media, like you said, there's people are constantly looking for people that they used to know. And if you every once in a while put something on your Facebook page about how great you feel, and when I put on there, you know, I lost my before and after pictures, people are constantly asking me about that. What did you do? And people that are haven't seen me for a while. We went to my class reunion this summer, and that's how I connected with some of the people that were going to be there, is social media. And it's an amazing thing. it's something that when Relive started, nobody had access to because there was no social media. But you find ways to add to your list every day. When you are going out and about, when you're driving, keep your eye open for different businesses that you might want to check into and just form a relationship and connect with those people. Because who are your first 5 to connect? And that's the other thing. Who today? And those people also, when you identify them, like you said, Juanita, they know that many more people, and it's just like a chain reaction. You have anything else to add?
So, Debbie, I went in and looked at, because if you go into the Relive website, you can get all of these, the Identify, Connect, and all that. And so I watched the one that Mamie Jones did and Amy Thomas, and like you were saying, it's our list is a circle. I mean, you add to it, and, Carlos always said, keep that beside you because you're going to forget, somebody. You think of them, and if you don't have it, write it down. And it's a circle, and so you don't take people out of your list because timing is everything. And the other thing, in listening to Mindy and Amy Thomas's presentation on Identify, is that Amy was talking about that those names are our seeds. It's the seed to our harvest. It's basically our paycheck. And so you want a big list because you will get no's. And the more no's you get, the closer you are to yeses. And so it was, and the other thing that they really both covered was to not prejudge. And that's a really good reason that when you have a new distributor come in with you, to sit down and actually do that list with them, because everybody's going to make that list and say they are, but not always do that. And so if you sit down with them, because we all, you think, this person might be too rich or too poor or too sick or too healthy, and so we don't put them on the list. But if there's 2 of you sitting there, you just make the list. You just put people there because you just never know. And Mindy gave an example of that when she had that dress shop, and somebody that worked for her, she didn't think she'd be interested in Relive at all because she didn't have any money. I mean, but she talked to her, and that person knew somebody who knew somebody who knew somebody, which resulted in Mindy opening up Australia. It was like, oh my goodness. So you just never know. So keep that open, just like Debbie was saying.
Yes, for sure. You never want to stop building your list, and that's the main way to identify. And somebody had to identify you. If regardless of how they identified you, they did do that when you became a Relive distributor. So you just keep looking for those people. Keep thinking about how those people, like Don Gibbons said, there's people out there every day. There's people out there that don't know about Relive. We all know that. And those are the people that you need to put on your list. So Juanita, should we open it up for people to add if they have anything to add, or should we go on to the next part of our training? So if I'd open it up. Just think that you are dying to add to our training this morning, that would be great. Go ahead and *6 and come on, and we'll let you share that. I'm not hearing anyone, so are we not? Is it not? Either *6 is not working, or we've covered everything, and it's kind of hard to believe.
I don't think we probably covered everything, but I'll just why people are thinking about it. I thought when you were saying about who you put on your list kind of and stuff, and how you came into. So I came in at a volleyball game, and my sponsors identified me right there when we were sitting there. I mean, it was just a spontaneous thing. And so if they wouldn't have done that right there, I don't know where I'd be. I mean, if I hadn't heard Relive from them, I don't think I would have heard about Relive. And it's changed my life. And I love Relive, and it's I can't imagine. I'd be on medication now, I'm sure, for cholesterol and arthritis. I'm sure I would be. And I'm not. And I was able to change the life of 80,000 people because of a contact at a volleyball game. So, you make your list as you're out and about. I mean, you see somebody, you can change the life right then. I mean, and Twyla, do it now. Write that name down. Talk to them now. And you need to take that advice.
Yeah, Robert says, I think so often, too, it's just engaged those around you and saying hi without any agenda. And that's so true,
Yeah.
Robert. Thank you. You have to build those relationships in order to have any credence in what you're saying, because people think that you're just trying to sell them something if you don't do that. So that's great. Yeah, thank you. Anybody? I thought I heard somebody unmute. So is there someone there that needs to say something?
Hey, Debbie, this is Jim.
Hi, Jim.
Hey, I love everything you've both had to say, and I just think when you're genuinely excited about something, people are attracted to just your excitement, and they want to know what you're doing. And so if you're out and about and just feeling good and doing the Fit 30 thing, and you're just everything, you're just upbeat, people want to know what the heck you're doing. And just be honest with them. Maybe it won't interest them or not, but they're definitely going to be attracted to it. So opportune moments will happen a lot more frequently if you're just excited about what you got.
Right. Yeah, that's what I was saying about being a hermit. Even if you start out with a hermit with Relive, you don't end up there because you feel too good.
That was really good, Jim. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you. Anybody else? Well, I guess not. I guess we covered everything, Juanita.
We didn't.
We're so good. We don't need to go to Connect though. That's not our slide. So what I am going to do, another part of our new training is we are going to make sure that everyone we're going to do our best to make sure that everyone out there owns the compensation plan. So right now we're going to go through that, and we're going to do this every week, and there's going to be different ways to do this, and I'm sure that you guys are going to pick up different things from different people who do the compensation plan, but it's basically so easy. That was one thing that really attracted me to Juanita. Am I jumping the gun here, or is this okay?
No,
okay.
Keep going. Great.
All right. So this is one thing that really, the biggest thing that attracted me to the Relive business is that there are a lot of companies out there and a lot of compensation plans out there, but I've never seen one so simple. And it grabbed me, and I just never look back because it is so simple and it's so easy to understand. And that is one thing that we want to share with everyone who is doing Relive as a distributor, is that it is a simple compensation plan, but you have to own it. So there's 5 ways to make money with Relive: retail profit, wholesale profit, overrides, cash bonuses and trips, and the ambassador program. And we're going to go through each one of those very quickly here. Retail profit, that's pretty simple. This is pretty simple to understand. Excuse me. If Walmart gets a truckload of lettuce, they're going to maybe pay a quarter for each head of lettuce, but they're going to put it on their shelves and they're going to charge $1 for that. That's retail. That's how you make retail profit. If you have three people, that's friends, neighbors, and relatives, and these 3 circles don't mean there's 3 legs to your business. These just mean that everyone is a potential customer. Your friends, your neighbors, your relatives. If you retail $100, you make anywhere from $10 to $40. And in Relive, you can make that choice. You can decide whether you want to make 10% or you want to make 40%. And that's the first form of income. And people start using Relive, and all of a sudden they're buying cases instead of cans, and that's where the next form of income starts. That's wholesale profit. You could make anywhere from 10% to 40% in wholesale. Excuse me. If someone is, in your organization, someone is in your house, I like to call it. They're using Relive, they're purchasing Relive from you, and they're at the 10%, and you're at the top level, the master affiliate level. You're going to make 30%. If they're at 25, you're going to make 15%, and if they're at 35%, you're going to make 5%. And all of those numbers on there, the dollar amounts, are what they need to do to get to those levels. And master affiliate level is the place to be, because that's where you obviously are making the most income. But that also opens up the rest of the areas of income. And sponsoring increases volume, and volume increases profit. And the reason for that is that it's kind of like a snowball. It rolls down the hill, and it gathers people, and people are at 30% are all of a sudden making more than or having more volume in that month, and that pushes them to 40%. The next form of income happens when you move out of your master affiliate, out of your sponsor's house, and into your own house. That unlocks the residual income that you can get with Relive. Relive products are for everyone. People consume Relive products month after month. Overrides equal residual income. You have residual bills. You have bills you get every month. Why not have residual income? Why not have income that you can set in place, and it will come month after month after month? When you get to the top profit level, when you get to master affiliate, again, you move out of your sponsor's house, and you start building your own house with all of your Relive distributors in that house. And this is how that happens. Overrides are calculated on business volume. You can this one level here, or one page here, doesn't mean that you can have one master affiliate under you. You can have as many master affiliates, as many people at the 40% level as you can, as many people as you can meet, actually. So what happens is you're at that top profit level, you're at 40%, and maybe your neighbor Susan sees what's going on and says, that looks like fun, I think I can do that. And so she becomes a master affiliate at that 40% level. And what happens then is you make 8% on everything that Susan does in her house. Every distributor that she has, every customer that she has, every distributor at any level that she has, you make 8% on everything that goes through Susan's house. And maybe Susan's brother Jim sees what she's doing, and he says, I want to do that too. So he moves out of Susan's house as a master affiliate, and he starts growing his own group, his own house. And what happens then is you're helping Susan help Jim, so you're making 6% on everything that goes through Jim's house. And then maybe Wendy is a school chum from Jim's school in Florida, and they're on social media, and she sees that Jim is out doing fun things, and he looks so healthy, and she asks what's going on. She becomes a master affiliate, starts her own house, and you're going to make 4% on everything that goes through Wendy's house. And it goes on down to Bill, and you're going to make 2% on everything that goes through Bill's house, because maybe he can't get a hold of Maria or Wendy or Jim, and he's going to ask you questions, and he's going to call you and ask you questions, and for that you're going to make 2% on everything that goes through Bill's house at that fifth level. So it's pretty simple to see how that works. But let's show you exactly what that could mean. Power of overrides is the power of multiplication. First level, well, you have 3 master affiliates, and again, you could have as many master affiliates as you like. You could have 400 master affiliates, and let's just say they're all doing $2,000 a month, and that could be their family of 5 and maybe five people that they have on the product. $6,000 at 8% is $480, and people copy other people. So what they're going to do, each one of those 3 master affiliates is going to go out and find 3 people just like you did. $18,000, each one of them doing just $2,000 is $18,000 times 6% is $1,080. And you can see how it just kind of multiplies. 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. You get down to the 5th level, and you've got 243 master affiliates, each only doing $2,000 a month. That's almost $500,000. At 2% is $9,720. You add those all up, and this is just overrides. This is not your entire check. That's $18,300. When I first saw that, Twyla did the compensation plan for me, and when I saw that, I rolled my eyes, and I thought, oh gosh, did she see me do that? Because I thought, I don't know anyone who makes $18,000 a month. Well, I do now, and there's a lot of people in Relive who make that and a lot more. And again, it's because it's like a snowball rolling down a hill. You get started, and you keep rolling it, and it might roll into some brush and break a little bit off, but you just pack it in and you roll it again, and it might run into a tree and break away completely. But you pack it together again and you move it on down the hill, and it keeps growing. And I've got people that I started on the product 9 years ago who are still using the product faithfully and still ordering every month faithfully. And I know that it's just like that snowball. It has to continue to grow, because as long as I'm continuing to roll it down the hill, it's going to continue to grow. So that is a very big possibility. The next form of income happens when you, just like I said, we've been on a trip, and we've won bonuses in the last 9 years. We've won different bonuses. These are cash bonuses. These are set up for new people, actually, because you get out there and you share and you're excited, and it happens. That first bonus that I earned, I asked myself for the 3 months that it took from earning it to going on the trip, how did that happen? There's been people in the business for over 20 years. How did I, being brand new, get a bonus? Well, it's because I was excited and I shared with a lot of people. And these are the most amazing bonuses and trips that I could even think of. When you go on a Relive trip, they treat you like you're royalty. Twyla told me, yeah, and they're going to give you spending money. And I thought to myself, well, yeah, I got $1,750 in bonus money. Of course I've got spending money. But we got to the hotel, and they sent us over to the Relive desk, and they gave us money in an envelope. And I was just like, oh, wow, that's awesome. And it's amazing. They pay for everything, and they pick you up at the airport, and you feel like royalty. So these are the things that you're working towards when you're building your business. The 5th form of income is the ambassador program, and this program was started when Relive started, and people were making a lot of income and retiring, and Relive didn't want that to happen. They wanted to keep those people around that knew what they were doing, to teach other people how to do that, to train other people how to do that. You get extra travel recognition, extra cash bonuses, because you're paid to help others. You're available to help people who want to do the business and want to learn what you've done and how you did it. And then that is the end of it. What people need most is personal freedom, financial security, and optimal health. You can have financial security and not have your health, and you really have nothing. You can have optimal health and not have financial security, and you don't have what you need. personal freedom. All these three together is what you need. Personal freedom is the freedom to do what you want to do, really. What if you want to take a trip and not worry about your health slowing you down or your financial security slowing you down, then you can do that. And I know that I couldn't, in my old career, I wouldn't be able to just pick up and go to Disneyland to watch my daughter and grandkids dance at Disneyland like I did this last week. And I can't even, I've become unemployable. And the reason for that is I cannot be on somebody else's schedule. And it's because of Relive. I love it, and I will always be doing Relive. So whatever is your best choice, that is your choice. And you can come into as a master affiliate and get the product at the best price and also make the most for your time. You come in as a distributor and build to that master affiliate level, or you could just order the products and enjoy the products as a customer. Whatever the choice is your best choice. And that's the end of the compensation plan. So now we're going to move on with training and go to Juanita.
Yes, the promotion to Puerto Vallarta. I am so excited about this. I think this is kind of the I went to Jamaica one time, and it was just helping people save money. This promotion is from August 1st to December 31st is when you earn this. And this resort, they always, get the best resorts and everything. And how you earn this is that you personally sponsor at least 10 quick starts purchased. And now it's purchasing 500 PD instead of the 750, so it made that even easier for us, or above, and then break 5 master affiliates during that challenge period. And and then the trip is March 15th to the 18th when you earn that. And yeah, beautiful place. If you haven't looked at the video that Relive put on the site, you need to look at that. And the best thing about those trips is the people, the Relive people that you're with there. I mean, you're just with the best people, and you can learn a lot and just enjoy and get back. My husband on the Jamaica trip, we earned that, and it was like a honeymoon we never had. And we've been married 20-some years, and he's just, and they do pay for everything, just like Debbi said. I mean, my husband's like the cowboy. We have a small ranch, and he's used to picking up his own bags and doing his own thing. And you get there, and they have a glass of orange juice or drinks for you, and they're picking up your bags, and he's looking at them like, I can get that. And it's like, Steve, no, that's okay. So they do treat you like royalty. They leave little gifts on your bed. You come back to your room, and it's like, oh, this is fabulous. And so he actually didn't think that he wanted to go because he had to stay back and watch the cows, and he just takes care of everything. But once we got down there, and you just kind of belly up to the bar and the food, and it's all there, and and then he really enjoyed that. And it's those trips are fabulous. And so I need to go on another one. And it's about doing the business. This is just a gift to us. Relive the gift. You give the gift to other people, and you get another gift from Relive. So it's time to pull that wagon. And whether you get the trip or not, it leads you further along with your business. And so you're farther ahead no matter what way you look at it. It's win-win-win. So that's our training. Anybody have anything to add? Debbi, do you have any last words?
I have one question.
Okay.
I have forgotten what the sign-up fee is.
The sign-up.
I'm sorry?
Each year we pay $40. Is it $39.99?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, let me go ahead and stop the training here, and then maybe somebody could answer that question for you. There's going to be a recording of this training that will be sent out as soon as we get it set up. And I'm going to go ahead and stop the training for now, and then maybe, again, like I said, somebody can stop or answer that question for you. So thank you guys for all being here today, and I hope that something that we shared reached you, and have a great week.